So, you want to be charismatic, don't you? Well, to be charismatic, you have to actually understand what we're talking about when we say, what is charisma? A lot of people say, I want to be charismatic, but do you even know what charisma is? So, what charisma ultimately is it's passion plus confidence. Passion plus confidence. So, if you have passion in your everyday life and passion towards your interest, and you're a confident person, then you'll have charisma. But how do you gain these abilities of passion and confidence? Well, one of the biggest things to confidence and having and attaining more confidence within yourself is to be in the flow state. You have to get in the flow state and understand how exactly you get into the flow state. So the flow state is all about accepting and embracing every situation in your life, your moods, your words, whatever's coming out, just embracing everything as it goes and letting it flow. So if you can simply accept what's going on in your head and your true intentions and let them fly out, then you'll be able to be authentic and be using the flow state to gain confidence. How do you gain passion though in your everyday life? Well, in order to be passionate, you have to be authentic. Let me explain. Are you going to be passionate about things you're just not authentic towards? No. If you're going to be passionate, you have to have your authenticity and the real you shine through. You have to be talking about things you're actually interested in. You have to be acting how you would actually act, say if no one else was around or you had the permission, right? Because that's the problem with people is like, it's almost like you'll need permission just to be you and just to be authentic. Well, you have to give that permission to yourself first. Okay, but this is what really charisma rides on, is authenticity. If you can't be authentic, you can't be charismatic. Again, remember, charisma is all about authenticity. So if you're being authentic, then you'll be able to talk about your authentic interests and passions and pursuits, and you'll be able to be you, meaning you'll automatically start being more passionate in your everyday life. Now, passion also has a lot to do with how you speak, how you move, how you do everything. As you can probably tell right now, I am making a lot of gestures. I'm perhaps doing certain facial expressions as well. And all of this contributes to being more passionate. And really what you want to be aware of is the facial expressions, the emotions you're feeling, and how much energy you're putting into life and you're putting towards your passions and interests. So again, passion comes from internal, just being more interested in things. And in order to be more interested and curious in things, you have to come at it from an authentic perspective by talking about things that you're interested in first and being authentically who you are. This will naturally allow you to just be free and be more expressive like I'm doing now and to engage your physiology. And so in order to really unlock authenticity as well and that charisma and to know, okay, how do I act charismatic? How do I just automatically just be myself, right? And just ride off of those intentions that I have, those authentic intentions that I have from within. Well, you have to listen to your intuition in order to do this. So you may be wondering, okay, well, how do I actually put this more into practice or understand it a little bit further? Like, how do I actually become charismatic in public and with my friends, yada, 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 right? Like, what does that look like? What is that exactly? Well, when you're charismatic with people that you love, your friends, whoever it is, even strangers, right? You're acting from a place of authentic intention. And this authentic intention is based on the foundation of your intuition. So in order to tap into your intuition more, you need to start listening to what I call the initial inner voice. Sounds exactly what it is. It's an inner voice, meaning coming from inside, pretty simple, right? And it's initial. It's your initial thought to something. See, a lot of us question our initial thoughts. We'll have an initial thought, right, of what we authentically want to do, want to say, want to be, express, whatever, and then we shove it down because we overthink, right? Like immediately you could say, if you're a guy, right, you could immediately be at a bar, look across and be like, oh, she's pretty, I want to talk to her. Initial thought. But what happens? You overthink and you start thinking, nah, or you start making all the excuses, right? She's okay, but I don't know if I'm really that interested, right? And so what you want to start becoming aware of is, what is your initial inner voice? What is that voice saying, right? Is that voice saying, oh, this is what I really want to do, so then I'm going to go for it? Or maybe it's not saying that. But whatever your initial thought is, you need to be aware of it and not lie to yourself and be honest with yourself and be like, okay, this is my initial thought. So that's number one. You have to find out what your actual intention is and what your intuition is trying to tell you. When you follow the instructions, so to speak, of your intuition, you need to make sure to back it with passion, right? And this happens when you have confidence, and confidence happens when you have authenticity. So when you're authentic, therefore confident, you're confident in that authenticity. And then you back that even more with just an excitement and thrill for the fact that you're being you and that you're confident. All of this stacks up. So when you're authentic, you can then be confident that you're being yourself. And when you're confident that you're being yourself, this will lead to excitement. And that excitement is when passion starts to arrive and it really starts to shine through. And really, it's most likely, especially if you do this correctly, and just initially, especially if you're not used to putting yourself out there, it'll happen like a chain reaction. You've probably had this happen already when you get into the flow state, and that's really what I'm talking about here. When you get into the flow state and everything's just going right, you're maybe at a bar or somewhere, and you're just hitting it off with a bunch of friends. It's just one after the other. You can just talk to strangers, you can express yourself however you want to. You can do anything you want to in that moment. And this is how the chain reaction leads. So it starts with you just putting a little bit of yourself out there, nice and scary, like just expressing yourself, saying something that you normally wouldn't, etc., that is true to yourself, but that you wouldn't normally say. And then perhaps a lot of times this is how it happens, right? Then you get approval from that. So then that gives you confidence to move forward. So now you got the authenticity and the confidence. And then from here, you may even get more approval from the confidence and authenticity. So then this leads to excitement for what is already happening and the events that are occurring. And this excitement is the passion. So you see how it trickles up from authenticity, confidence, passion. Now the problem, you can probably tell here, is where and how it's being built, how the progression is being built. It's being built on external approval. So obviously, if it's built on external approval, you can't control it. It can be damaged at any moment, any time, right? So what we really need to do is get internal approval. When we can approve ourselves, we can switch like this in an instant. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're developing internal-external formula, meaning that we're developing an internal frame of reference, an internal approval rather than external approval. Once you can get this internal approval truly and not care about what other people think, that's when, again, you allow the authenticity to shine through. You approve, not the outside. You approve of that authenticity, and you accept and embrace that authenticity shining through. Then the confidence emerges as a result of this. You accept and you embrace that confidence, and then based on these two levers, authenticity, confidence, then it goes to the passion. You accept that, and then it's just bliss pretty much from there. You're in the flow state. So that is really how charisma is built literally in real time. And this is what charisma actually is, in case you're wondering, right? So you may be like, well, because upon coming to this video, you may be looking up how do you be more charismatic, but maybe you didn't actually understand what charisma was referring to. And again, what you can think of charisma is it has a backbone of authenticity, and ultimately all charisma is its confidence plus passion. And like I said, with an underlying authenticity as well. If you want to know more about confidence specifically, make sure to check out my video, The Only Tip You Need for 100% Confidence.